What's up, guys? It's Jonathan back with another video today. The video I wanted to talk about today, it's a really great movie. It's a great haunted house movie. It's from the 70s. It stars James Brolin, Margot Kidder, and Rod Steiger, whatever the hell his name is. And well, the movie I'm gonna talk about today is the Amityville Horror. Um, this was released in 1979. It's rated R for some reason. Okay. It tells the story of a family called the Lutzes. George, Kathy, and I forgot the other two sons' names, but yeah, they yeah, and some other kids. They move into this house, the Amityville house, 1 year later after a murder happened. Um, and soon after, it's like for 28 days, soon after things start happening, they start experiencing like creepy stuff, like blood, like the walls dripping blood, creepy eyes, and fucking what's that one? You know, and there's also like this fucking well in the basement of a house that leads to the whole evil. You have this dog that's just sensing things. You have like, uh, you have money that just disappears. Um, and then also the fact that when they're out, the babysitter's there, and she gets trapped in the closet, and they try to open the door, and they think that the daughter's crazy, but no, it turns out that yeah, it's actually the ghost that locked the babysitter in. So they're like, "Oh, open the door! Why didn't you open the door?" And James Brolin, he was the dad. He goes like, "These kids over here need some damn discipline." Like he's all mad. And then he's like, "Weren't you told to go to bed?" And I like, "Go." You know, he does that, but then but then he's all like, but then that's when they figure out, yeah, they were right the whole time. That there's actually something evil in the house and all that. Um, but yeah, this movie's really good. Amityville Horror. It's a really good movie. I like the remake of Ryan Reynolds. Not really a franchise that I like. I just like maybe the first two, maybe. I do own the trilogy on Blu-ray from Screen Factory, but like just the first two are actually good. Um, I just I can't. The second one I don't really like. I don't really like the abusive relationship because of I don't know. That's just horrible. But like I don't really like the abusive relationship of the second movie, but it was still good though. But yeah, they they made too many of these movies, man. Like it's like okay, it's like you made three movies. The third one bombed in the theaters, and it didn't make money. It was PG rated. You burned down the fucking house. Why are you gonna make? And then all of a sudden, 6 years later, in '89, they make Part Four, Amityville 4: The Evil Escapes. The house is built back up. And it literally starts out just like it literally starts out with the house. There's no opening credits. There's no logo. It's just it starts out with raining and there's a house and it says Amityville 4: The Evil Escapes. And the camera quality is so bad. But yeah, I don't know. Like those later movies suck. Even The Awakening with Bella Thorne, that one sucks too. But this one's good. Um, from the bestseller that made millions believe in the unbelievable. Yeah, the book is written like in '75. Um, here's the synopsis. There's no place like home for blood-curdling horror. James Brolin, Margot Kidder, and Academy Award winner Rod Steiger fall prey to the powers of darkness in the spine-tingling tale of a house possessed by unspeakable evil. The Amityville Horror is one of the most talked about haunted house stories of all time. For George and Kathy Lutz, the colonial house on the river's edge seemed ideal. Giant, quaint, spacious, and amazingly affordable. Of course, six brutal murders had taken place there just a year before, but houses don't have memories. Or do they? Soon the Lutz dream house becomes a hellish nightmare as walls begin to drip blood and satanic forces threaten to tear them to destroy them. Now the family must try to escape or forfeit their lives and their souls. So yeah, pretty creepy movie. Um, like I said, not. It's definitely one of those like good haunted house, one of the better haunted house movies. Like, cause nowadays, yeah, you have paranormal stuff, but they just overdo it. Like, Paranormal Activity, the house was haunted. City, the house was haunted. The Conjuring, the house was haunted, and all that. Like, I get it, but you make too much of those. But this is really good. Like, we didn't have a lot of haunted house movies like this back then. Because before this movie, you had Legend of Hell House. You had The Haunting from 1963, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And you had House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price, which I think is another good one. And you had this one, then you had Poltergeist. Um, yeah, like some other haunted house movies, but yeah, but this is what it's all about. Like I said, the family, 28 days, they begin to experience creepy stuff, evil forces, noises and stuff. There's even one scene where like it's like the door gets blown off its hinges and they actually hear it. James Brolin and Margot Kidder actually hear it. Like the wind blows the door, like some force blows off the door off its hinges, and they experience all that stuff. And then once it gets like the end of the movie, George he's not he kind of does become possessed, but you know, well yeah, but he snaps out of it, and then yeah, so that's when they decide to leave. Like it's raining and they decide to leave. They take the dog with them. So yeah, I would too. Yeah, yeah, George you know he's kind of mean in some parts, but it's not really his fault. It's the house. But yeah, like like he slaps his wife when he yells at his kids or his wife's kids, some other stuff. But yeah, this movie's good. Also, little girl sings stuff. Jody doesn't like George. Like George yelled at me. We should have opened the door, Jody. Jody doesn't like George. All that. Jody was the ghost, one of the ghost girls. We got 6 murders happened in this house the year before, and oh my god, they had such a good deal on this. But yeah, this house is creepy. It's one of the most creepiest houses in horror movies. It's like if I had a choice on any house, I rather take my chances in the Myers house, the Elm Street house, or the house from Psycho. Or I would even take my chances in the house from Insidious, or whatever other movie had the house about, or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. But this house, no, Heck, I would take my chances in Silent Hill and Raccoon City. You know, here's just the forces of evil. You know, but it was really well done, really well made. I've heard mixed reviews about it. Some people say it's kind of boring. Other people say it's not really as good. But this movie is considered a classic in the horror genre. People say, "Oh, nothing really happens." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's not that it's just still trying to happen. It's trying to it's just explaining the date. They're just going to the date and seeing what's happening and all that. That's basically why. But it's not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. I love this movie. Really good. Um, I also have the remake too. But like I said, the ones they're making, oh my, the ones they made after the third one, with the exception of the remake, but after the ones they made after the third one, they just got so dumb and cheesy. I'm all like, oh my god, you guys do not know when to quit on these movies. These movies are worse than the late. These movies are worse than the later Halloween movies. They're worse than the later Friday the 13th movies. That's how bad they are. They're even worse than the Resident Evil movies, and I hate those too. But yeah, this is the classic one. But yeah, I love this movie. So guys, that was my review of Amityville Horror, 1979, starring Margot Kidder and James Brolin. Let me go. Now, what do you guys think of this movie? Awesome movie to watch in October. What? This movie's really good. And stay safe during this COVID. Keep social distancing. Wash your hands. Stay out of trouble. And be careful on the roads. And all that. And those of you at school, just continue staying in school, guys. So logging off.